Hello everyone, happy Saturday.
It's the weekend. It's the weekend. Yay! And I'm feeling great, mostly because I actually got to sleep in for once. I was very tired at the end of yesterday's stream, and I'd forgotten that it feels good to sleep in until noon.
I don't know how much longer I can keep doing the fucking office job, dude. I'm like sleep deprived so often as a result of it. I don't know what it is, but can't do it. I'm tired too much. It's much better when I can sleep in. When I can sleep normal. Anyway, we're continuing our playthrough. Because I would like to try and finish this video game. It is indeed
The weekend. My shirt is bunched at the bottom.
Yes, last time, on Ground Zero, we made it to Busan University. I think my webcam. Resting a webcam on top of your monitor is that if you ever move the monitor, for any reason, everything is fucked now. The framing is way off. Anyway, what was I doing last? I made it to Busan University. Okay, now you have a new punchy angle. This one you can see my shirt. Busan from hit movie Train to Busan. Yeah. I guess. It's a good movie. It's a good movie. I liked Train to Busan. It's got zombies, and it's got trains. It was basically, like, laser targeted at me specifically. As there are two things that I primarily enjoy. One of them is zombies, and the other is trains. Dino-Ram... Oh... That's...
I disagree.
The Busan-like genre.
The Busan-like. Intoxy, thank you for the 39 months. That's... that dinosaur. These dinosaurs, they're looking a bit wrong, you know? Given how... Okay. This game, structurally and mechanically, takes a lot of influence from specifically Dino Crisis. But I've seen very few games that try to, like, take the inspiration from, like, all of them at once, you know? Like, it's a little Dino Crisis 1, it's a little bit Dino Crisis 2, it's a little bit Resident Evil 3, it's like, I mean, like, these are all games from the same developer made around the same time, you know? But the average indie classic survival horror game revival will tend to, like, pick a lane. It's truly funny how strong the knife is once you remember that dodging exists. It's also very funny that I played half the game not remembering that the dodge button existed. Yeah, they were just like, what if we were just like, what if we played the hits of like every Capcom survival horror game simultaneously, you know? You come to me. least the knife doesn't break like RE2 Skennedy. We really strayed from God's light when they made the knife breakable in the remakes. Where does the boot knife come from? From a boot? Hope it's not an annoying question. Call me saying I'm not doing in-person GDQ because of the big travel involved. Is the chance for me in person at GDQ at Gamescom? I would like to apply for GDQ Gamescom, yes. I cannot guarantee I will actually be able to go. The logistics of travel might be like... Put simply, I might not be able to get time off my job. Although I hate my job and kind of want them to fire me, so... Maybe I'll just go anyway and see what they do. I don't know, what are they gonna do? Fire me? Quote from Man Fired. I tried to get them to fire me already. Hey Punch, you mostly watch my YouTube video for my Silent Hill content. Today I managed 10-star Silent. One asked me if I should do 2 or 3 next. 4 is dumb easiest, so I'll do it last. 3 is the hardest. IMO. So take that as you will. Oh no! I haven't yet worked out how to hit these guys with a knife yet. Also, Silent Hill 4's 10-star is, execution-wise, not the hardest ever. But it's also very easy to accidentally miss something. You miss one file in Silent Hill 4 and your entire run is fucked, which is extremely irritating. God damn it. File that determines ranking? In Silent Hill 4, yes. In Silent Hill 4, you need to collect almost every single file in order to get the top ranking. There's like a minimum file quotient. There's like a little bit of wiggle room in the process. This is what gives rise to so-called 10.2 star run. Because the effective maximum score is actually 10.2, although it doesn't unlock anything. The only way you'd even know if you got it is by way of the save file showing a different color. I've never done a Silent Hill 4 10-star run on account of the fact you need to play on hard mode, and you couldn't, like, pay me to play Silent Hill 4 on hard mode. I find that game tremendously irritating, even on default settings. Hey, yeah, this does so many survival horror games with their power fail doors that lock when stupid. Stupid. Both Silent Hill 2 and 3, I think, have harder 10-star requirements than 1, on the basis that it is possible to actually, like, fail them and not notice. Like, Silent Hill 2 and 3 have damage limits. If you get hit, it tallies how much damage you've taken, and if you take too much damage, you fail the 10-star, and the damage restriction isn't, like, it's not incredibly stiff. But it does mean you need to be somewhat careful. Okay, what's with this then? This is clearly some kind of puzzle. Forest Volcano, Ocean Beach. This is like the only clue, but none of these buttons are labeled in any meaningful way. Fail Secure is a real design goal in League if you're required in some circumstances. Probably not in a university. I've never seen a fail secure door in my life. Unless you work at, like, I don't know. Seriously, where would that level of, like... Where would that level of security be desirable? I actually have no idea. Yeah, like a bank vault, I suppose? But also, do banks even have big vaults anymore where, like, they're keeping all the money? Like, money's all fake nowadays. You just type it into the computer. Ah. Never tried that. Mm-hmm. Forest, volcano, ocean, beach. Forests ought to be green, yes? 4231, I think, is the solution to this. Four, two, three, one. 4231. No good? It's the other way around. The rooms are mirrored. That made a different noise, just doesn't seem to do anything. I don't know. I'm not even 100% sure if those are related. I did try it both ways, and neither seemed to do anything. It is yet another mystery. It shall never be solved. We have no idea. Clueless. Okay, I've unlocked a bunch of... well, a bunch of... I think I've unlocked one door. There's a guy somewhere. Oh, there's another guy. Ah! Nobody expects the jump attack. See, once they start running like this, there's no time to... Once they get like that, there's no time to, like, do a critical shot anymore. Unfortunately, the stream kind of started later than I would have wanted to. I'm always like that, though, aren't I? Maybe you should just move your schedule over. But no, what happened is that this showed up in the mail today. Esperade Psy for the PS4, and I got very distracted by it. I started playing it a little bit just to kind of see what the port was all about. And ended up playing it basically all afternoon. Whoops. It's pretty good. I like it. Never heard of it. It is a JP exclusive. Which would go some way to explaining that, most likely. I hate it when it lines up and the game says it's out of crit range, even though it's visibly still in crit range. I just didn't mean to play it for so long. It is a shmup, yes. Which is a type of game a lot of people have absolutely convinced themselves they are not capable of playing for some reason. I've been indulging the cave shmup recently because I made the serendipitous discovery that I actually kind of like that sort of thing. It is a cave shmup. It is a shmup made by the developer Cave. In the grand scheme of taxonomies, this one's quite straightforward. Neat. Ikaruga is very... Okay, I think Ikaruga is a very famous game, right? A lot of people know of Ikaruga for whatever reason. I'm not sure why Ikaruga is so well known. Here's the thing. Ikaruga is hard by the standards of shmups. Like, that is a difficult game. Like, even the sorts of people who play a lot of shmups will be like, oh, Ikaruga's quite hard. Like, that's a tough one. Thing is, I've liked the Toho games for a while. I've liked the Toho games for a while, but I've never really like branched out into trying like the more classic arcade shmups. I've played like a handful here and there, but I've never really been like into them. They've been in sort of the periphery. Like I was aware of them, but I never really indulged. I played a little Ikaruga and was like, yep, this is really hard. Hidden dinosaur in the bookcases. Your recommendations for beginner shmups? Honestly, Toho games. They're popular entry points for a reason. If your requirement is that the game has to be bought on Steam, then the answer is still Toho. Haha, you're tricked. Because they're on Steam now, although the one I would recommend isn't. I think. Is Imperishable Night on Steam? I don't think Imperishable Night is on Steam. That's my favorite. I really like that one. But outside of Toho, there's also Mishihime-sama on Steam. That one's pretty good, and it's surprisingly... It's nowhere near as, like, ball-breaking as you might expect. It is a cave shmup, and it does have Ultra Mode. Ultra Mode is bullshit. Do not pick Ultra Mode. The other two modes are more civilized. Honestly, most modern shmup games and ports are probably pretty reasonable. The irony being, I actually probably wouldn't suggest Esperade to an absolute beginner. It's kinda hard, and there's not really much by way of, like, difficulty setting. There is a super easy mode. It is super easy. The caveat there, though, is that the jump between super easy mode and, like, the normal game is quite severe. Vampire Survivors is in the my eyes, they roll into the back of my head. I did? This is extremely in a shmup. Vampire Survivors is not really the same kind of thing now, is it? And to be clear, lest I be misinterpreted on this, you are allowed to enjoy the Vampire Survivors game. You have my permission. Like, I'm not personally very fond of it. I find it a bit creepy. But, you know, just not really the same kind of game. It's a different sort of thing. Why is it creepy? Well, because it uses all the same techniques as slot machines to monopolize your attention and get you addicted to a gameplay loop that's fundamentally quite shallow. Like, this isn't even conjecture, the dev has just said it. It's a game that is designed to be addictive above all else, and I think that's a bit dodgy. Ah! Run around to the dinosaur. Fuck my life. $19.96. I'm just gonna use the first aid kit. Fuck it. I have so many of them that there's no need to be cautious with resources. Like, an explanation for the dinosaurs? Oh, the mold just kind of does whatever. Yeah, I found it a bit weird when the Vampire Survivors guy basically, like, said outright, oh yeah, I took my experience from working on slot machines to make a game that was, like, addictive, but, you know, didn't keep begging you for money, and people were like, wow, that's so noble, and I'm like, okay, I will grant it's definitely not as evil. I won't say that's worse, but I'm still not convinced that that's, like, a unalloyed good, you know, like... But also, that's kind of like, to some extent, game design. Like, these sorts of things do just arise in the process of trying to design a game to be fun, you know? The things that make a slot machine addictive are kind of part of what can make a video game enjoyable. Like, we like it when there's lots of shiny lights and numbers that go up and you get a little badge and what have you, you know? People like that kind of thing. I'm not like, I'm not gonna be like, oh, but I'm from a higher plane of existence, you know? I'm a ball of pure energy who only enjoys the intrinsic success of getting a 1cc on Dodonpachi. Fuck no. I want shiny badges too. I am in no way above that. I think that might be part of why I'm a bit like, I like give it a bit stink eye, because I know it works on me. Hey, Flinio, you expect my tenacity? In what respect? That I'm still playing Ground Zero? It's a bit of a long game, but I'm still enjoying myself. Once I got out of the hospital, anyway. The hospital kinda sucked balls, but once we get out of there, things we're returning to the norm. Yeah, especially since I remember there's a dodge as well. The dodge would not have helped me during that. Well, it might have helped me a little bit during the hospital. It helped a bit. I don't necessarily think it would have helped like a dramatic amount, though. Don't play horror games, I watch you play them instead. Why not play one for yourself? That's what I'm saying. Dude, I didn't even bring up horror games when I was like talking about how you should try things even if they put you off a bit sometimes if you're interested. Doesn't seem very scary. Would you recommend it? I think it's like perfectly good. If you're interested, yeah, I'd say give it a shot. If the game interests you, give it a try. What's the worst that can happen? Indulge your curiosity. You'll be so much happier for it, I promise you. What if the game eats your cat? Then your cat experienced skill issue.
Don't get hit.
Hey Cleffy, wow, this game is still going? It's long. It's a long game. I've heard this is about like 15 hours, so this might bleed over into fucking Sunday as well. Because I started this stream late.
Then your cat is bad. Your cat has failed the vibe check.
15 or 50? 15, not 50. Good grief.
Can you imagine a survival horror game that's 50 hours?
Dude. Now, don't get me wrong, I understand that video games do cost money, and that we all don't have, like, infinite time in this universe and what have you. But, I also am a little surprised at how people seem to treat the opportunity cost of, like, trying a kind of video game they don't often try. Like, the stakes seem to be so high. It's like, well, if you seem... Obviously, you know, if you're not interested in something, you know, don't do it. Who gives a don't do that. You don't gotta do nothing. You don't gotta do nothing. No one has to do anything. You just don't do it. It's like, oh, this seems cool. Why not give it a shot, you know? What's the worst that can happen? Like, the worst that can happen is that you buy a game and you end up being like, wow, this fucking sucks balls, actually. And that sucks, but it's not like the end of the world. Worse things have happened. Hey, down on the upside, you were just at the game store and got your first PS2. What game store do you live near that still has PS2s? What an excellent game store you live near. Yeah, I'm making the assumption that you are like an adult with an entertainment budget and are capable of like tailoring your buying habits around that. If you're like 13 and have no finances of your own, A, you probably shouldn't be watching the stream, and B, I'm not talking to you. We have gotten closer to the truth yet again. But now I don't know where to go. Like, that's not the complete thing. Yeah, I need 3 films. I only have 2. I was kind of hoping there'd be, like, a key out there or something. But there... Okay, so... the answer lies very much with that puzzle that I didn't quite solve. I've moved further away from the plate. No, I haven't. This is the right way. This is the right way. A local used game store? Ah. Either way, congratulations. Now, you have access to the entire PlayStation 2 library, which is full of many cool games. You know what's a kind of game that I'm not so familiar with that I would like to become more familiar with at some indeterminate point in the future? A humble racing game. More specifically, games that sort of have a more realistic slant to them, like a Gran Turismo or, like, God forbid, even a Ridge Racer, which on the continuum between sim racer and arcade game, Ridge Racer is still very much in Clownland. Why do you make a different noise? I did try it backwards the first time and it didn't take. I haven't played a single Need for Speed game, actually. Not a one. Never ever. Something to think about. Right, there's always more. There's always more that I could be doing. Ah, hands! I'm always consumed by that sense that there is more. And yet here I am, playing Ground Zero. A kind of game that I am extremely familiar with, but also, I don't know, I like these. Bite me. Ah! The big dinosaur! Hooah! Yeah, now it's very Parasite Eve. They're playing the hits, dude. It's a little Parasite Eve, it's a little bit Dino Crisis. Go really into Kingdom Hearts and Dark Cloud 2, Chronicle. I want to play Dark Cloud at some point. That's been on my list. What? I'm not sure why that didn't count as a crit. It looked like one. I read parried them things blood. I read parried them things blood. Okay. I don't suppose it's. I'm gonna take a picture of that just in case it does not, in fact, save it to like a file menu. May I pretty please be allowed to use my mouse cursor on the other monitor? Please? Thank you. The game is apparently a bit possessive about that.
Not again! Eh?
I suspect I would enjoy Dark Cloud, although the question is whether or not I would be able to get chat to sit still for the like 50 hours it takes to finish. I have different and kind of obnoxious considerations for things like that because, you know, streaming is partially my job. Okay, it does just show you. I wonder if you can, like, skip this. If you already know the code. What? I must program. I cannot figure out. Error on line 4. Initiating standby mode while processing data will result in data loss. Okay. I don't know how your fucking fake technology works. That ain't my job. I did it. I've learned to code. It was a 1-week course. I've been thinking about that kind of thing lately, the whole just like trying new things because they seem interesting to you. I'm rapidly coming to the conclusion that I might just be like considerably more open to spontaneous experiences than a lot of people, I guess. Which sounds like I'm bigging myself up, and maybe I am a bit, I don't know. But I'm flashing back a bit to that time where, like, I mentioned I was taking swimming lessons. And a whole lot of people ask me, like, why are you taking swimming lessons? And I'm just like, because I don't know how to swim. And, like, multiple people in my real life, including my own mother, just didn't really accept that as a valid answer. They were like, what do you mean? I was like, I don't know how to swim. And I've decided I would like to learn how to swim. That's it. Like, it's actually genuinely not any more complicated than that. I just wanted to learn how to swim. That was it. I didn't know how to swim, and I was like, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it, that I don't know how to swim? I should take lessons. The local pool is offering lessons, so I decided to sign up for lessons. That's it. That's the start, beginning, and end of the rationale. But for some reason, multiple people, like, pressed me for, like, oh, are you, like, you know, doing something? Are you joining a team? And I was like, no, I just wanted to do it because it seemed interesting. That's it. And I did, and it was fun. It lasted about, like, a couple months, and at the end of it, I felt like I had reasonably attained a basic level of proficiency with swimming. I can now trust myself to enter a pool and not immediately drown. Hooray! That's it. Like, I got what I wanted out of the deal. Should I ever have occasion to go to a pool, I will feel okay entering the pool without, like, wearing armbands. Like a toddler. That's it. That's all I wanted, you know? To me, this all seemed very straightforward. Hey! I hit the wrong button. Hoo-yah! Hit him with the parry. Hit him with the parry. Wonder how perishable the swimming skill is. Well, like anything, if you don't do it for long enough, you, like, forget how. You can forget how to do anything if you don't do it for long enough. Punchy Olympic swimmer arc. You were taught in school and didn't keep up with it? No, I was never formally taught how to do it at all. Swimming lessons are, only a thing that you get if you happen to, you know, go to a school that has a pool nearby. Or, you know, in the school, I guess. Mine fucking didn't, because... Like, at risk of being a bit overly blunt here, it was a poor school. They did not have the resources for that. I just never learned how to swim. It simply never happened. Now see, they say that you never forget how to learn a bike, and that's also definitely not true. You 100% fucking can forget how to learn a bike, because I did. Like, that was another thing. That was another, like, random dalliance where I just decided at one point that I was like, oh, you know what? It'd be convenient if I had a bike. A little bit faster than walking everywhere. And I was like, I haven't ridden a bike since I was like 11. I've completely forgotten how this works. Now, it did not take me as long to relearn it as it probably did to learn it the first time. But you definitely do forget. If you don't use it for like 2 decades, yeah, you fucking forget how. Like, it comes back to you. But with swimming, I was starting from... not precisely zero. It's not that I've never been in a pool before, but I was starting from a place of, like, no formal education, you know? Ah! Five streams of lurking till now. Hey, the lurk is all good. You are free to lurk, you are free to participate. You can do anything. You can do anything you like. That's what's so great about this world. You can just do anything.
You're the coolest!
Do you know what you can't do, though? Find the power... Where's the fucking power room, mate?
Must be on drugs.
Oh, I was told I could do anything, and now I can't do anything because I have choice paralysis. Now, that's real. I also am like that all the time.
What if I did this? But what if I did the? Ooh, what if I did? Ah!
It's gotten to a point lately where I'm making decisions about what to stream by literally flipping a coin. Wireless, thank you for the 16 months of Prime Gaming. Where is the fucking power room? Is it you? Are you the power? You're the power room, aren't you? Now, see, I love to make fun of people who are doing something else while they're watching the stream, because it makes me, you know, it's funny. It's funny to be like fake indignant about it. I see you playing fucking Final Fantasy XIV while I'm in like the other tab, minimized probably. But, like, you know, of course people are doing something. Called out the second monitor watches. It's such a reliable bit, though. Buddha! There's another one. No! You didn't actually you missed completely. That's fake. This game is unrealistic. This type of participation is why audio equipment is 1,000 times more important than your visuals. I have always stressed this. I helped a friend start their like VTubing career at some point. That might surprise you to learn this, given what I'm like. I will not specify who. But I stresses them over and over again. I'm being like, especially if you're fucking VTubing, right? The like, spend the money, get a good microphone. I was like, it will be worth it. It will be worth your while if you intend to do this even sort of seriously. Spend a good couple $100 on a good microphone. Just fucking do it. Now, obviously, if you're just starting out with streaming, you can get, like... People always talk shit about Blue Yetis and Blue Snowballs and what have you, but they're perfectly fine entry-level microphones for their price point. They are entry-level mics with entry-level price points. They are perfectly reasonable. But if you intend to do this, like, kind of seriously, get a fucking XLR. Like... What one isn't even that important? It's kind of important. This is an AT2020. This is like not that expensive, relatively speaking. It's about $100. It's going through an audio interface that's also about $100, so like about $200 worth of audio equipment. There's some other bullshit going on that I've added over time. Don't worry about that so much. You know, I recognize not everyone has $200 to drop on audio equipment on a whim like that. But I upgraded to this after I was like, oh, I've been streaming for a while. I should take this a little bit more serious. Honestly, I've thought about upgrading the microphone. I've wondered if the classic Shure SM7B would be the answer. It's a lot of money to spend, and it might end up being kind of lateral. Particularly because overall, like, any XLR microphone, even like this one, which is a relatively entry-level XLR, is still probably more proficient than what, like, 99% of streamers are using. Because ultimately, like, unless you're doing, like, serious vocal work, you need a microphone that's, like, good, but you don't need one that's, like, incredible. Because you'll be, like, sitting here fucking moving around, like, blah, it doesn't end up mattering that much. Depends on your use case, though. It does depend. This is a relatively versatile microphone. Like, it works pretty well both for, like, streaming and talking shit and moving my head around and what have you. But it's alright. It's also pretty alright for, like, record. Like, I record my video essays on the exact same microphone. But maybe you prefer something that has a bit of, like, a radio broadcast tone to it. Now, if you're the kind of streamer who also sings, that opens up a lot of complications. That's a whole other fucking ball game. Okay, that was like the courtyard key. I was like, what am I doing exactly? And there's also a certain point where you get kind of like diminishing returns on it as well. Like, the difference between a, like, you know, a $50 microphone and a $100 microphone is very significant and very noticeable if you're doing anything that involves, like, lots of talking. You know, video essay, people might not, like, care that much. The soundtrack has gotten very loud all of a sudden. I think I'm fighting a boss character. Yeah, the difference between like a $50 microphone and a $100 microphone is a lot. Epic. I was really trying to shoot the barrel, and the game was like just not having any of it. Blew up myself with the fucking barrel, as one does, I suppose. Sorry, I can't, like, do my thing and, like, explain at the same time. The difference between a $100 mic and a $200 mic is less significant. That's, like, the basic thing I was getting at there. Not a very complicated thing. I cannot see through the faceful of dino ass. You get the best bang for your buck at that sort of like mid-range price point, and that applies to almost any piece of like equipment that is technical in nature. This applies to cameras and fucking drawing tablets and all sorts of things, really. I really wish I'd brought, like, a different gun for this. Pattern 入ってる? Fuck, I dropped it. I wonder how much damage I actually did with that. Can I just, like, leave? You can just leave. I think I just wasted a bunch of ammo on that. Oh well. Multiplication! It's so over. I'm experiencing the 7 stages of grief over having to do multiplication. No, it's okay.
So I can do multiplication.
I think. Maybe. Not sure. Oh. On the inventory storage. But yeah, you have to solve a little math problem every time you want to open a storage box. Which I feel quite sure will drive a lot of people absolutely mad. Oh!
본부 장대입니다. 이상 변이차를 스캔했습니다. 지금 업로드 중입니다.
수고했습니다. 이 스캔이 생명체에 대한 중요한 데이터를 제공할 것입니다. 이제 노드를 파괴해도 됩니다.
본부 제 위치에 대형 적대 생명체가 있습니다. 즉각 공중 지원이 필요합니다.
너무 흐려서 공습 조건이 맞지 않습니다. 변이체에 관한 데이터를 추출한 후 철수하기를 권고합니다.
철수는 불가능합니다. 필딩 중위가 지상 지원할 수 있으니까.
안 됩니다, 상대인. 공습은 제공되지 않습니다.
Evan, requesting immediate backup. There's a large hostile coming in hot at the university stadium. I can't handle it alone.
I'm on my way. Hang in there. How long can you hold it off?
Not long.
Ah! I'm not clear if that did anything. Shite. A light source? Is this, like, safe to do in the middle of the fight? It doesn't sound like it. Well, I got away with it, so... Oh, whoops. That's not what I meant. I'm T-posing! What is... Also, okay, you know, because the T-Rex is a big, giant T-Rex, I actually very much assumed that it would kill me instantly, and it didn't. Maybe it's because I T-posed on him. Ah, the flare box is empty. I'm really trying to hit the fucking... Oh god, now the small guy's in here. I'm really trying to hit the fucking barrel and the game is like not giving me much to work with here. Do you want to throw it or just hold on to it? This is turning into a shit show. Do you like it? No. Can't really stand back. I'm actually okay. I've been getting tossed around like a fucking like a happy sack. Happy sack? Hacky sack is the word for that. But I don't actually appear to have taken any damage. Eh. That should work. Nice. Yeah, maybe there's a certain radius where you only take the knockback but not the damage. I live in the corner, dude. Oh, fuck, I'm stuck. Maybe I don't live in the corner. I actually have no idea what's happening right now. What the fuck is going on, dude? I win, apparently.
I'm okay.
Sit tight. Coming down.
본부, 장대희입니다. 목표는 무력화했습니다.
I won.
다음 명령을 대기 중입니다.
스캔 결과가 나왔습니다. 예상대로 그 이상 물질은 변이체 소화기관 같은 역할을 하는 것으로 보입니다.
Yeah, that makes sense.
주변의 뿌리들이 잔해를 수집해 이런 노드를 처리하고 있습니다. 확인된 영상에 따르면 대전의 주 변이
That was a bit of a shit show.
두 개의 노드가 대위의 현재 위치
Hit him with that
부분을
T-pose.
있습니다.
I should use this camera angle more often. You can see my wonderful, like, fucking crumpled shirt choices. I'm sitting on it weird.
충분한 약화가 이루어질 것입니다.
알겠습니다. 저는 You again.
Why did you have to go and blow it up? I didn't get my turn to scan it. Shame on you, cariño. Didn't your mama teach you how to share?
You were here this whole time? You let me face that thing by myself?
Looks like you didn't need my help anyway.
You're a monster.
Don't be so dramatic. It's every woman for herself out here. If it was such a problem, you could have run away.
I couldn't just run away. I had an objective to complete.
No, your handlers had an objective to complete. You decided it was worth gambling your life for a little DNA sample. Anything to keep the big boss happy, right? You're just a lapdog girl.
You don't know anything about me or my team.
I know more than you think, honey. I know they are sending you into this hellhole to do their dirty work with no one but that musclehead for company. And I know they didn't bother to help you out with that disgusting creature back there. And you call me a monster? They are the ones who are supposed to be helping you.
Quiet.
You know the reason they couldn't provide an airstrike? They are too busy using it on my boys. They are happy to let you die if it means they can get their hands on their precious satellite.
Satellite? What satellite?
Ay, Bonita. They didn't tell you anything?
You're in no position to give me an attitude. What did you steal from the hotel?
Credentials.
For what?
Get up, girl. The satellite. I'll give you a hint, just because I'm starting to feel sorry for you. She's called MC-130A1.
Conspiracies are occurring.
Designed to drill asteroids in the Kuiper Belt. Or that's what they say publicly. Behind closed doors, they are telling their shareholders a different story. And trust me, cariño, the fact that your handlers even want to get their hands on her is shady.
What do you want with the mining satellite?
Getting access to the controls is what my paycheck's counting on. But that's the wrong question. You should be asking what your guys want with it.
If it was necessary for me to know, I would have been briefed already.
What's your name, girl?
Soyeon.
Bonito nombre. You can call me Isabel. Listen, Soyeon. You need to wake up and start using that sweet little head of yours. We might not be allies, but we are not enemies either. As a gesture of goodwill, if you're curious what's going on here, there's a bomb shelter just east of here. You can find a lot of interesting plot twists there. And just between us girls, I advise you to keep it a secret from your boys back at base.
Hit him with the ninja smoke bomb, dude, except it's a flashbang.
What was that all about?
It's that woman again. The one I keep seeing.
You want me to go after her?
No, it's fine. I'm sure she'll be back. Thanks for the support, Evan. I couldn't have survived that without you.
I think you might have been able to survive it without him, honestly.
Where did you even find the javelin?
Fell off the back of a truck.
Right.
Yeah, flashbangs don't hurt the person who threw them. This is known.
Why not? You never know. We might find a spare missile lying around.
I guarantee you there are no anti-tank missiles just lying around the city.
It sounds like someone's jealous she doesn't have her own javelin.
Let's just keep moving.
Yeah, I am jealous I don't have my own javelin. You kind of want to punch this Evan guy? Evan being too gender? No, you can't just assume that because a guy is talking that he's being gender. Dude, it's not gonna let me scan the boss because it fucking died on top of the... No! This game is cringe, dude! My points! Bruh. I'm writing the devs a stern email asking for a refund on my, like, 2,000 genome points. This game sucks! This game sucks! Gah! Oh, and the quality is poor, is it? You know what else I think is poor quality? I wanted to say, Punchy, you're an influencer now? What do you mean now? I've been doing this for years! A friend of mine is trying 69 runs now. Have you actually influenced someone I know? Okay, well, best of luck to them. Glad to hear that my brainworms are spreading. It's just so funny to read. You're an influencer now. It's like, I know! I've been doing this for a while!
Something on your mind?
I don't know. That woman, she told me something. I'm not sure if I should believe it.
Go on.
He's trying to beat my 69 time in Final Fantasy?
For a satellite.
I've changed my mind.
Satellite?
I hope they fail.
For recon?
For mining.
What would HQ want with a mining satellite?
They can't. If they beat me, I'll be absolutely distraught. I'll cry.
Explain it all, but we shouldn't let HQ know.
You reckon she's lying? Trying to send you on a wild goose chase?
That's what bothers me. It's too specific. If she wanted to trick me, she could have picked something more believable, but if it's true, I don't know why she'd want me to know.
So what does she want with the login?
She's selling it.
So that's why HQ had you preoccupied with stealing the credentials to some dumbass mining satellite. Something about that didn't sit right with me, but now I think I'm starting to get it. Whatever she's got is valuable. Way more than they're letting on.
I don't know about that. We don't know who she might work for. HQ is right to be suspicious of her.
Look, I don't trust her either. But if she was that much of a threat, she would have just killed you when she had the chance. I think we should give this bomb shelter a look.
It could be a trap. She seems smart.
We're smarter.
If you're sure. But don't take too long. We need to prepare for the train ride to Daejeon. I'll get the train running. I expect you at the station within the hour.
Yes, ma'am.
상대이, 변이체를 파괴할 가장 효과적인 방법은 핵무기를 사용하는 것으로 판단되었습니다. 대전 중구 외곽에 군 시설이 있습니다. 남아있는 모든
Do you find a toilet in this game? A couple.
주 변이체를 파괴하라는 허가가 내렸습니다. 빌딩 중위와 함께 시설로 가서 한두 배치를 준비하고 구출을 대기하십시오.
호텔에서 만난 여자가 위성에 접속하려 한다고 말한 것 같습니다.
그녀가 언급한 것은 아마 스텔라 미네랄사의 시골 위성일 것입니다. 이 임무에는 무용지물이나 잘못된 손에 들어가면 매우 위험해질 수 있습니다. 그녀가 어떤 말을 하든 믿으면 안 됩니다. 그리고 그녀가 위성에 접속하지
Why does Soyeon have the Waluigi symbol?
그 위성으로 변이체를 파괴할 수는 없습니까?
그 채굴 위성
What?
최대 12기가와트까지 발사할 수 있습니다. 겨우 그 정도로는 변이체를 완전히 파괴할 수 있다는 보장이 없습니다. 위성이 불량 조직에게 넘어가는 것은 반드시 막아야 하지만 대유의 임무에는 도움이 되지 않습니다.
하지만 지상 지원이 추가되면
안 됩니다, 장대위. 지구를 향해 발사하는 일은 있을 수 없습니다. 위성을 무기로 사용하면 국제법의 중대한 위반이며 세계 대전을 초래할 위험이 있습니다. 한국군의 명령을 받고 있다는 것을 기억하십시오. 지시된 대로 임무를 진행합니다. 중국 군기지를 찾아 미사일을
Vertically,
발사할
it's
준비를 합니다.
some kind of like
그리고
tie scarf thing? I don't know.
사살합니다.
알겠습니다.
Oh, what? I get to play as the Evan character? Could have just taken the stairs, man. Fuel for my blowtorch. Well, 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 if it isn't the blowtorch, brother. You get it. Good one. Thanks. Look, every so often you just gotta, like, say something. Otherwise the crowd gets restless. Sometimes people do this on social media as well, right? You just gotta post something unhinged every so often just to sort of keep people awake. Like, I think cats should be, where's my dice? I think cats should be illegal to own in... After 8 PM. Yes. Discuss in the comments. You must stop owning your cat between the hours of 8 PM and 8 AM. Exactly. It would make... It would improve the local ecology. Oh god, the shit water! Streamer is cat, am I illegal after 8 p.m.? I'm illegal before 8 p.m. What is a game without a sewer? This game has multiple sewers. This is like the 3rd sewer segment, which is, in my estimation, 3 too many. Oh, no. There's just no way to be sure. As if he uses a different item box. You own this expensive game? Ground Zero? The Haunting Ground? I do own Haunting Ground, but I'm playing Ground Zero. At least one of the words was different in that sentence. I got a copy of Haunting Ground back there, but also I fucking hate Haunting Ground, so that's not happening. EU version? Yeah. I would happily sell my copy to someone else, because I'm probably never going to play it again. Is that bad? I thought it was pretty bad, yeah. It's not worth $400? I don't think it's worth 20. This is one of the opinions that puts me at odds with the core of obscure horror streamer content creator is that I think Haunting Ground is kind of shit. I simply have no love in my heart for that game. I think it plays shitty and frustrating, and I also think it's just kinda weird about women. Well, woman, singular. What's up? Clock Tower 3 better than Haunting Ground? Marginally. How so? Well, a lot of the game is framed around sexual violence happening to its protagonist. At one point, if you game over to a specific boss, you get to hear the implied sounds of her unconscious body being violated. It's really gross. I know, like, it's a horror game, it's supposed to be a little uncomfortable, but I just don't think it's in very good taste. God damn it, I pressed the button too quickly and now the menu's all fucked up. There we go. Yeah, lest I be misinterpreted on this in this, age of highly questionable censorship. It is not that I think that it is morally depraved, bad game should be banned, no one should play, etc., etc. I do think it's in poor taste, though. I would like to think I'm allowed to have this opinion that a game, it can be in poor taste, you know? I just don't think I think it handles the topic very clumsily. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that makes sense.
I think it's also, okay, it's also a game that will, not only is, you know, the entire game framed around sexual violence happening to its, I remind you, like, underage protagonist. It kind of wants to have its cake and eat it in this regard, because your prize for succeeding at the game and doing well and getting the good ranks are increasingly sexy outfits. Which is a bit of an odd choice for the, like... I don't think this was, how do I put this? I don't think it's like a grand... I don't think it's like a harrowing analysis of the female experience. I think they just like boobs. You know what I mean? I think, yeah, it's just I don't think it's a little bit fetishy. Is the direction I think it leans in. I'm not big on Haunting Ground. You know, it's like, horror is sometimes close to, like, what is the line between horror and fetish? It's blurrier than you might think sometimes. I still don't like what Haunting Ground does. I just don't. And once again, to be clear about this, I am not saying it is, like, morally depraved to like Haunting Ground or to have a different feeling about it than I do. This is a topic on which I'm fine to, like, agree to disagree about the substance of the video game. But I've gotten some very, like, harsh pushback on that, precisely because my opinion on the game is so harsh. People get a bit defensive about it. It's like, you're allowed to like it, I don't know. I don't think it's, like, a red flag for someone to like Haunting Ground, but I do think the game is, like, a bit... I think much of what it does is in the poor taste. That's really what, like, pushes it, like, that's what lowers it for me, the opposite of elevating it, is at first, like, I think it's a game that kind of plays a bit shittily at baseline. So it's not a game I enjoy, like, on that merit by itself. And then it also tips over into being a game I actively hate, because I just hate its, like, I hate its vibe. It pushes it into that zone for me. Where it's like, wow, I not only find this, like, annoying to play, I also think it's, like, kind of gross and skeevy. And in a way I don't really think serves any, like, I don't think it says much to justify it. I think the devs just wanted to have horrible things happen to a borderline legal girl. And it's like, I'm not altogether, like, incredibly comfy with the direction of that one. Didn't like it. Is Silent Hill 4 better? You know what? As a game that you can control and play, no. It's probably not. Haunting Ground is probably less shit. Yeah, Haunting Ground at the very least, like, it doesn't really have a combat system, so you don't have to worry about that. That being said, when you are obliged to engage in combat, it's mostly a matter of hoping Huey does something, which is... it's a choice. Will your AI partner actually play the game? Who knows? It is a mystery. We'll never truly know for sure. Any jump scares, if any? In this game, none. In Haunting Ground, also none, really. Clock Tower 3 was also not a game I particularly liked, but I definitely felt it was worth the playthrough. Clock Tower 3 is worth playing through, if only for its absolutely fucking incredible cutscenes. They are ridiculous. Clock Tower 3's cutscenes have this absurd, frantic energy in their direction. And the plot is ridiculous, and it's not boring. I can say a lot of things about Clock Tower 3, not a lot of them nice, but it's not boring. You play one of the Clock Towers with Karma. Which one? Probably the first one for the Super Nintendo, because that's the only one that I really like. I have the again, also not very popular opinion amongst, like, the obscure horror game crowd, that I think Clock Tower as a series has a kind of bad batting average. Clock Tower 1 for the Super Nintendo is a pretty decent game, but it's sort of like... it's cute, like, it's humble. It was punching, like, well above the weight class of the Super Nintendo. Like, for a Super Nintendo game, it's like, wow, they were really doing something here. They were trying stuff. They were pushing things forward. And I love its pixel art. It's a very, very pretty game for the Super Nintendo. Like, the environment's very detailed. There's a strong sense of reality. I love the way that game looks. I think they really did something with Clock Tower for the Super Nintendo. But it is also fairly basic, and it doesn't last very long. But as a Super Nintendo game, it's something. It's a worthwhile piece of history. Something worth giving a look-see. Yeah, what's there, I think, is good. There's just not a lot there. It's a very trim game because it's a Super Nintendo game, and then I'm not big on its sequel. Clock Tower PlayStation 1 is a bit stupid. Like, it wants to be more movie-like, but I think the 3D graphics don't look very good. I think the voice acting is mostly bad. And the story itself is not terribly engaging. It's like not a bad time. But I think it's all right. It's a bit mid. I might still learn it speedrun at some point anyway, because it's pretty easy to just sort of play and not have your brain on for it. It's good filler for marathon days. What about Haunting Ground? That's what we were talking about before I got onto the rest of the series of Clock Tower games. Is Fatal Frame better than Haunting Ground? Cleanly, yes. I don't even think that shit's like a real question. That's hydrogen bomb versus coughing baby kind of question. Like, Fatal Frame is good. Is Fatal Frame worth $118.23 US to play? I'm not sure any game is going to be worth $118 to play. But I do think it is reasonably positioned as one of the classics of the era. Shite. Shite. OG Fatal Frame 2 or the remake? Definitely the OG. Play OG Fatal Frame 2, do not play the remake. I think the remake is a bit shit. It's not, like, terrible, but I definitely think the original is much stronger. In basically every way that matters. Would you look at that? A pristine toilet. I think the combat in the original is better. I think the art direction is better. I think the camera is used more elegantly. And what's more, the original doesn't have fucking stealth bits in it. For what reason? Why did we do that? Why do you have to, like, hide in a cupboard and no! Fatal Frame is an action game! I want to shoot the camera. We've strayed from the path. Is Siren better than Haunting Ground? You know what? I don't know. I would say there's pretty good odds, but I actually don't have a lot of experience with Siren. I played a little bit of it, and didn't stick with it. And it's been long enough that I don't remember much about it, other than it being quite hard. Siren does have Johnny America. No, that's Blood Curse. Blood Curse has Johnny America. I do like Blood Curse for its very realistic depiction of, like, a foreigner trying to speak Japanese. You may be unsurprised to learn that I do appreciate it when the depiction feels more authentic. because let me tell you, there is depiction of foreigner trying to speak Japanese bad. And depiction, I'm very stuck in the mosh. Depiction of foreigner trying to speak Japanese true to life, and depiction of foreigner trying to speak Japanese kind of slightly offensive. My least favorite form of this is when they just make a character speak like perfectly fluent Japanese, but they just use a weird pronoun. What? Game. Why is this thing here, and why am I able to walk through it? Oh, I don't want to play Pipe Dream. I have a doctor's note that says if I have to do pipe connecting puzzles ever again, my head will pop. I win. Never mind. It's alright. It's okay. We'll live. We'll live. At least it wasn't a sliding block puzzle. I think a lot about these sorts of puzzles in a survival horror game. Because I really wonder, like, what their function truly is. Like, why do we include puzzles in these games? Okay, I'm really thinking about this. This is my game, like, designer brain, even though I don't really make games. This effect is very interesting, is it not? Like, the camera is moving at a deliberately lower frame rate than the rest of the, like, in order to simulate that sort of... It used to be smoother if you run, interestingly. But it was just running badly? No, it's doing it on purpose. It's like, the camera is moving at a lower frame rate than the rest of the game. I think that's the right way of describing what's going on here. It's moving in, like, a stepped fashion, you know what I mean? This is like, planned. In order to give the background an appearance of seeming more fake than it actually... Because these backgrounds are not pre-rendered, like, they're real. They're real. They're real! Video games are real! I wonder how they achieved this. How do you achieve this kind of effect? Like, on purpose? Like, do you make the camera move in, like, whole increments? At certain... That seems very tedious. But maybe they did do it that way. Kinda like it, though. A very striking effect. There was some artistic shit going on there, you know what I mean? Like someone looked at that hallway and framed the scene in an intentional way to make it feel very off, like a little destabilizing. Ooh. I don't know, I noticed it. I wanted to think about it for a bit. Sometimes it's fun to appreciate the small touches. I have so many first aid kits. Yes. This is a game that seems, like, very packed full of ideas. Or at the very least, it's very big. Because, like, remember that we've had to choose between two separate paths multiple times. Which implies the existence of entire separate, like, alternate levels. There's a warning if I've ever seen one. Run, Evan! Ah! Hey, Heartman, how's the game? The game's pretty good, I think. Yeah, this game has a lot of content. But also, it's like, again, the fact that it gives you the ability to, like, choose between two entire levels is very interesting to me. It's an interesting decision. Because, like, if you made a whole level, you'd want people to play it. But they made so many levels, and the game is, like, long. It's not a short game. Yeah, it's longer than basically any Resident Evil, like, even the longest Resident Evil games. Classic Resident Evil games this is. It's, like, Resident Evil 4 is pretty long. I guess they just really wanted to, like, incentivize you to play and play again and play again and play again and again and again and again. Which is commendable, really. The thing is, though, is that making a game very, very long kind of conflicts with the goal of getting people to play it again and again and again. There's sort of a ceiling on that. I think if you want to make a game very replayable, you also have to make it in a way where you can beat the whole thing in an afternoon if you're good at it. And I don't mean speedrunning. Not, to a hardcore extent anyway, but, Resident Evil 1 through 3 are all short enough that you can crack a run out in an afternoon if you know the games reasonably well. I would have a hard time explaining why, but because at that point... No, I wouldn't have a hard time explaining why, actually. I wouldn't. It's very easy to explain why. It's because at that point, starting a playthrough just doesn't feel like a commitment. You start a playthrough, but it'll be done by the time... It'll be done by dinner. So it's not a big deal. So just run it through again, and that's how you end up with games people have played through fucking 50 times. Even without, meaning to do speedruns. That's how you get that. That's how you end up with that. This is, part of the reason why I haven't jumped on... Besides the fact that I tend to not jump on the speedrun bandwagon for new and popular releases, quickly, because I'm pretentious and think of myself as above all that. But Resident Evil Requiem, for instance, it's not an you can't crack that run out in an afternoon. It's too long for that. Now, if you're doing a speedrun, of course you can do it in an afternoon, but it's pretty long. I think most people would struggle to get through that game in a swift afternoon, even if they were fairly experienced with it. It's pretty long. Pretty long. There's a conflict that exists there though with the price point of modern AAA releases, of course. Because RE3 Remake came out and got fucking crucified for being only 4 hours long or something. There's a lot of other reasons I would crucify RE3 Remake, I grant you. But I'm of the opinion that for this kind of game, sometimes less is more. Now where can I use the Situation Room key? I don't recall anywhere this come up. Is that the Situation Room? That does not really look like a door that would be locked with a key. I have to say. Is RE3 Mix only fault that it's pretty short? Okay, so you're talking to someone who, really did not like RE3 Make. Like, let's just put my cards on the table on that one. I'm a fucking 3-make hater. I hate that game. I didn't finish it for years because I got like halfway through it and just stopped playing.
May I have your attention? All right, gentlemen. The emergency meeting is now in session. In attendance,
Dude, let's learn some lore.
Mr. Anstead, head of governmental relations, Mrs. Zimmer, head of operations, and myself, chief executive officer. And our governmental representative, Mr. Kimura, secretary general, General Strickland, head of military command, and Mr. Stevens, U.S. delegate. South Korean delegate Mr. Chung couldn't attend due to hospitalization, but Mr. Park is here as a stand-in. All right. You've all been briefed prior to this meeting, correct? So I'll keep this introduction short. On May 13th, 6:32 PST, MC-130A-1 fired a trajectory altering stream at interstellar object 200X-I-12. Now, just as it approached Jupiter with the
The government caused the media. Fuck!
200X is instead on an unavoidable collision course with Earth due to strike date found on July 26th, Mr. Einstein.
We expect the impact to be sometime in the early morning of the 26th with the hypocenter over Chung District. We don't yet have clear readings of 200X's composition, so it's hard to make any concrete predictions. But we anticipate a heavy blast radius of 20
It was the government.
and potentially
The government did it. The government caused the meaty fuck.
kilometers.
200 kilometers. That's damn near the whole country.
Unfortunately so.
Is it?
We predict close to a 100% fatality rate from Seoul to Busan. We advise evacuation of any peoples of interest well in advance.
Is South Korea that small?
Current research suggests Jeju Island should be safe from the effects of the impact.
And what about MC-130? Has knowledge of the satellite been exposed because of this? MC-130 is still undetected. It's been closed since the firing at 200X. We've heard no reports of sightings nor rumors of its existence. We remain confident that it hasn't yet been discovered. We need that thing gone before anyone...
200 kilometers is really like...
Pilots are being prepared to evacuate MC-130 from the solar system. We're currently extracting all necessary resources that are still on board. The jettison procedure will begin after that in the next few months. It should be out of communications reach.
I know it's not like the size of an American state because nothing, like America is massive.
Know this. No one's going to know.
I've been there. America is huge and mostly has nothing in it.
Meanwhile, we advise keeping all communications around this incident to a minimum. We predict a large loss of life, but there's nothing that can be done to prevent it. It makes very little difference to the fatality rate to declare 200X a threat now, or a week before its collision. But if we keep our cards close to our chests, we can at least ensure our own safety is still
Jesus, they knew. I need to tell Sally.
Texas is so big you can fit an entire Texas in it. Yeah, I suppose that's true, innit?
We gotta talk.
What did you find out?
It's true what that woman said. That satellite is definitely real. But it's not just for mining. That's what they say it does. Sure, but it's capable of going way over the legal limit.
Slow down. What do you mean?
This satellite, it uses some kind of plasma laser for drilling, right? There's a restriction on how powerful these kind of things can be, and anything above 5 gigawatts is classified as a threat to world safety, something like that. They claim it's above board.
I think most sufficiently, like, big countries are mostly full of nothing.
But that's a fucking lie. It's way more powerful. I'm talking hundreds.
Because it turns out humans only like to live in, like, a
Goddamn
relatively narrow set of places.
100 gigawatts? That would be enough to obliterate a city.
Exactly. This is not some innocent little mining company. Stellar Mineral is way more influential behind the scenes. Like world stage levels of influential. They're meeting up with some very big...
Like, bear in mind I'm from the UK, which is small and
I don't know, I mean...
mostly fairly, like, I say evenly distributed, not really.
The way they were talking.
There is a pretty significant, like, chunk of the country where there's just nothing going on.
Some boring ass rocks. They knew what this satellite was capable of. They were making secret deals to sell it. That's not the worst part. They knew about the meteor.
Like, it's a vertical slice, and there's like a whole bunch of stuff going, but there's like a slice around here. Nothing. There's nothing there.
Giving off strange signatures. They tried knocking it into Jupiter's orbit to keep it from leaving the solar system. Tried being the key word. If no one touched it, it would have sailed by with no problems. This whole mess is because of their fuck-up. They knocked it into the Earth.
That's why they call it the Midlands. It's mid. No one wants to be there.
Yeah. But that's the thing. They could have at least told us what they've done. They were too busy blasting the satellite into the void to hide the evidence. They didn't tell anyone outside of the little circle of shareholders. It's not just us that's been lied to. This goes way above you and me and HQ and even the government. Stellar Minerals been pulling the strings from so far up, we can't even see it.
Oh, that's... How much of that is conjecture?
None of it.
None of it? You don't even know who said it. It could be a hoax.
A hoax? What? No way. I know what I saw. God damn it, I knew we shouldn't have split up.
Even if it is
Should have
true,
brought the tape.
you still
Well,
have
there'll be no way to play it, I guess.
Let's finish getting this train running and discuss it later.
Fine. This isn't over.
Good news, you're 3 hours into FF1 and got a 69 from Fire Thought of Me.
My gun is in... No, I have a...
No, why is this happening?
My gun is feet!
She's now Bayonetta? No! Every Smash 4 player within like a 5-foot radius will now hate me. That's not it. This isn't it, man.
69!
That doesn't help me solve the puzzle. Yes, it does. My favorite Ace Attorney character, Gunshoe. Does it become knife shoe if I swap weapons? I am laboring under the assumption that if I swap weapons, it'll stop the effect. Yeah. Yeah, well, good going, you ruined it. You killed the joke.
So, what do we do now?
Once we reach the dam, I'll head west to the next node.
No, I mean about the satellite. That woman has a way to access the controls. That means, in theory, we could get that too.
It's irrelevant. We need to confiscate the credentials and eliminate her, but that data won't help the core mission.
If that thing's as powerful as they said, we can use it against the growth. Strike it from orbit. Leave the rest of the country intact. Safer, quicker, easier. Then let's see those bastards try to cover up their little accident.
The mission is to detonate the nuclear warheads. We've been given instructions to...
Whoa, whoa, whoa. You're not still going ahead with warheads, are you?
I don't like it either. But it's the only way to guarantee the destruction of the main growth.
Are you kidding? That thing's got seed pods on it. You know what happens when they get ruptured? Everything inside's gonna go airborne. And that shit could be spreading way further than Dejan. And there's no way the satellite wouldn't handle it better.
You don't know that. I'm not going against orders and compromising the mission for a hypothetical alternative. If the satellite was the right choice, we would have been told to use it.
The only reason they aren't telling us to use it is because Stellar Mineral is trying to hide it. I told you, it's a cover-up.
That's just your theory.
You're being stupid, Sao Yun.
Don't call me stupid.
I'm not calling you stupid. I know how smart you are. That's why it's so frustrating that you're not getting it. They're lying about what it's capable of because they know a satellite this powerful shouldn't exist.
Exchange is very funny.
These shady boardroom execs wanted it. But if there's one positive in this whole mess, Sao Yun, is that we can use it to annihilate this tree without spreading the infection. It's the safest way to finish this, and you know it.
That's not for us to question.
Like hell it isn't.
They said we'd be risking world war by using the satellite. Don't you see how much worse that is? Do you really think I would choose to have a nuclear detonation in my home country if there was a better alternative?
They're covering their asses. Look, if we can figure out how to survive in this wasteland with nothing but a couple guns and a little luck, a few guys in suits can figure out how to hash this out peacefully like adults. That's on them, not us.
No, this is on us. There's so much depending on us doing this job correctly. Wild speculation and borderline treason are not in our objectives.
Sao Yun, listen to what you're saying. You're gonna fire off a nuclear blast, flatten what's left of the country, and spread the infection across the planet, and for what? Mission accomplished? Collect your medals, get your paycheck, and call it a day?
It's not about the accolades. If it's the difference between saving someone and saving no one, what choice do we have? Of course, I don't want to do this.
Then don't do it! Think about what you're being asked to do here. If this shit goes airborne, there's gonna be so many lives on the line. Where does it stop? China? London? How can you say for sure the whole world isn't gonna get infected?
If HQ says this is the safest way, we have no choice but to trust them. Who are you to tell me what's right? And who are you to say that this plan will cost more lives than it will save? You're not a scientist. You're not a politician. You and I don't know anything about what's best for the world.
And neither do the guys back at base. It's easy for them to make a call when they're not the ones that have to push the button. Prove me wrong, Sao Yun. Convince me that dropping a nuke is good for anyone except for the suits behind this mess. Tell me how nuclear Armageddon is preferable to getting that satellite, performing a precision strike on that goddamn plant, and leaving the rest of the country untouched so everyone can see what really happened here. There's no way that level of destruction is going to save lives. The only lives it's gonna save is theirs. You know it. Hey, I know you're smart enough to see through this shit, okay? Like I said, it's not about saving lives. It's about covering asses. And if that's what they really want, they can figure it out without us.
I'm not going against my orders.
Sao Yun.
I said I'm done. I'm not discussing this any further with you.
Very well acted back and forth, honestly.
Hey, Sao Yun.
Hi.
You, hungry?
Depends on what you're cooking.
Let's see. Most stuff in here looks spoiled, but... Well, I can make you noodles. Or, noodles.
Are you sure they're safe to eat?
They're still sealed. They're probably less contaminated than we are. What does this one say?
Spicy.
And this one?
Extra spicy.
Well then, which one do you want?
I'll take extra spicy.
If you think you can handle it.
I'm more worried that you couldn't.
Well, how is it?
Oh, he took the mask off.
Not the worst noodles I've had.
It's not? This place must be getting to you. You look pretty beat. You still got about an hour before we're at Daejeon. You want to take a break?
I need to stay alert for the mission.
The mission's not going anywhere while we're stuck on this train. Besides, this is probably the last rest you'll get before things go really south. And go on. I'll keep watch.
Evan, I don't want to do this. The nuclear blast, the radiation. You know I'm only doing it because I have to, right?
Yeah, I know. I don't agree, but I know. Do you really think it's the right thing to do?
I don't know. It doesn't feel right. All I can do is trust them that they know better.
Maybe you need to start trusting yourself.
I find this exchange, I find the whole exchange here very funny because Sao Yun is very rational and I think sounds more reasonable, but Evan is almost certainly correct because this is a video game. You know what I mean? Like, we need to get control of the satellite.
Stay quiet.
It's like, I don't know, man, that sounds kind of fucking crazy. But, you know, Evan saw the tape, and we the players saw the tape, so we know he's right.
Control core.
Is this RE0? They're playing the hits again, dude. I also say the voice acting during that scene is genuinely very good. Like, they sell the aggressive back and forth quite well. A lot of games can't sell aggressive back and forth particularly well. Fuck my life. Get in this room. The stakes have been raised.
Hey, hold up. You smell that? I think there's a gas leak. Be careful, it might be flammable.
Reconnecting it while the gas fills room could be dangerous. Will you reconnect the cable? Maybe let's not then. Do it! Do it! You know what? Yeah, go on, let's do it, let's give it a go, let's give it a go. The gas, guy, you breathe in the gas. Yeah, you know, this is a great idea, let's do this. Connect the, oh! You're all banned. Everyone, all of you, banned. You're all banned. I will ban all of you.
Oh god! Oh god!
What did I think would happen? I thought I would win the video game, dude. it would take too long. My mods being like, oh, we can't ban those people. We'd have to actually do our jobs for once.
You smell that? I think there's a gas leak.
Bunch of fucking... You cleared the chat! No, it's all gone! Why did you do your job? This is the worst thing that's ever happened! First, how's streamer doing? I'm doing alright. I assume firing a bullet would, like, kill you, judging from how Evan is, like, refusing to do it. I've switched off the flow of gas. Yeah, this is the RE0 portion. This game really does kind of play the hits. Maybe that's why it's so long, you know, like, they play the hits of every classic survival horror game. Like, it's a little bit Dino Crisis, it's a little bit RE3, it's a little bit RE2, it's a little bit RE1, it's a little bit RE0, it's a little bit Parasite Eve in places. It's a little bit country, it's a little bit rock and roll. The album is thematic, it's coherent, it's conceptual. No! Like, okay, a lot of indie Resident Evil revivals play the hits, but I think this is playing the most hits. Is it more playing the hits, or is it we made a whole cover album? Really, in this case, I don't know what the distinction would be. Yeah, like, look at this. This is the Resident Evil 0 train. Like, look at this fucking luxury liner. Have you ever seen a real train that looks like this? Hey, OG Brad Vickers. Hi, hi. For those of you who do not know, he is the voice of Evan in this game. He is one half of the, I think, very good aggressive back and forth that we just witnessed. I really enjoyed that cutscene, honestly. What am I hitting? There we go. Ooh, I need a key. Okay, I have a question. Was the character named after you? did they name the guy Evan because that's your name? Or was that just like a fun coincidence? No! It's happening again. What do we have here? Ooh, I'm getting the emergency It keeps occurring. It keeps taking place. It's a fucking comedy routine at this point, dude. What's in here? Will you... I wouldn't have imagined that would be in the emergency supplies, but alrighty. You were assured it was picked before you even cast. I can believe that. But it is a funny coincidence. 5 years? Okay, I was about to... That explains why it's very, very long. This is a very long game for a game of this type. What is the wheelchair ramp for? No. Maybe I should stop trying to knife everything? Maybe? It's for accessibility. No, like... Ugh. It's not what I mean! Oh, is it to get across this? Okay, we've figured out what this is for. We've solved it. I'm still in green health apparently. When you have like when you upgrade the health, you upgrade the... No, I'm in the middle of scanning here. Ground Zero still going, long-ass game. I've been told this game is like about 12 to 15 hours. I'm getting nobbled every 10 seconds now. Coin? Rat. Oh yeah, the Zodiac coins. I totally forgot about those. How dare you make me do math puzzles. Just gonna pop it. Oh, I guess 200 is the max. I didn't get above 200 with that one. 200 is a lot of health, though. Seems like it. Seems like it takes an awful lot to get me to caution at this point. know what the max, I guess the max stamina is probably also 200? Immunity levels is an open question.
Find some way to distract that thing. We can detach the front car. Get the hell out of here.
There's the conductor's key. Can open all locked... Oh my goodness. It can open all locked doors in the train, you say? But here's the thing, there was a door at like the very back of the train that was locked with a special keyhole. I wanna know what's in the special keyhole. Are you willing to run... Ow. Are you willing to run all the way back? And I've chosen to answer that question with, yes, I kind of am willing to run all the way back to see what's up. I want to know. I'm a creature of curiosity. What can I say? I'm spending valuable health on this. I gotta learn to start reacting to that with dodging. This is a long train, too. What's happening in this train car, by the way? Those are like the restaurant tables you gotta like kneel at. But could you imagine trying to do that on a moving train? Wrong cabin. I did it. I used the conductor's key. And my prize is... Oh, wow, my prize is inventory slots. A valuable prize. Worth it? Honestly? I think so. An extra inventory slot goes miles in these sorts of games. Wonder what plug on the Evan part was going to do. Yeah, I never actually got the chance to use it, because the section kind of ended before I didn't think that watching the tape would have ended the segment, you know? It kind of teleports out of there once you've watched the tape, and I'm like, oh, I see. So if you want to find out now, sure, why not? It's unlikely I'm going to get back to it anytime soon. I'm not saying there is 0 chance of a second playthrough. I'm just saying I probably won't immediately hop into it. What is happening? Something is happening to me. Damn it, I had to run all the way back anyway, but now I'm under a time limit. Evan, why'd you not follow? He has a different plan. Yeah, it's now we gotta run back through the whole train under a time limit. We're once again playing the hits. Who shows time to 3 places, by the way? Like, I really gotta know the centiseconds. Ah! I hate these things, dude. Okay, that was greedy. Someone salvaged the Nintendo 64 version of RE0. God, I wish in RE0 your partner character was this capable of, like, helping you by shooting the enemy with a gun.
I disagree.
My sense of timing.
No, the game fucking crashed! The UE0 Ground Zero game has crashed and will now exit Fatal Error.
This sucks on ice.
I think it's because I tried to do a finisher. I think it's because I tried to do a finisher. Whatever it was about that situation, the game did not enjoy the idea of me trying to do a finisher there.
pushing the train. If you don't hit the brake, we're gonna smash right into the front car.
Well, we'll run it back. Zero! You rotter. You wrongin'. Okay, no, do not go for finishers, apparently. Whoa. This game is an amalgamation of all survival horror. It really is. Like I said, they play all the hits. Don't do it. Don't do a finisher. Don't do it. I really wanted to. I very much flinched to do it. No! Fine, I'm getting the genome quality, I'm getting the points. I'm building up my stock. Even though, I'll be honest with you, I probably don't need it. Can I unlock more weapons? I guess I can, sure. That is something I could do. But you only need the knife. Pre-rendered. Okay, now that the train has crashed, we go to the training facility. And eventually fight a giant bat in a church.
One of the nodes shouldn't be too far from here.
Oh, good. I'd hate to have missed the sights on the way to Dejan in a nice, comfy train ride. That makes this all worth it.
Come on, it's not that bad.
There is something wrong with you, Celia.
Ah! How many chapters does this game have as a frame of reference? Because I'm currently on chapter 9.
"12 chapters,
The press. Could be 12, one for each zodiac animal thing to find. Oh, it's one per chapter. That makes a lot of sense. What are you shooting at, Evan? What's he shooting at? He hates foliage. Was he shooting at this? Like all the way from downtown? My goodness. Once again, what is he shooting? I don't know what he sees, but he sees something and he shot it. From downtown. It's honestly kind of funny that he's like a better shot than I am. Hey, bro, leave some for me. Holy cow. Superheated compensator. It can ignite weaker enemies. Huh? Can afford a rifle. I'll buy it, why not? It's there. It's a thing I can buy in a video game. I'm not altogether sure what, like, ammunition that uses. Honestly, I can just let Evan shoot all of them. No, maybe I can't. Maybe he's forgotten. Interesting that that room had a shop in it, but not a save point. I think that's the first time I've seen that. Well, you can't, like, do critical hits with the knife? There's no critical knife swing? The game can't... knife only is fake. If you can't do knife only, that means the game suck. It's not Game of the Year, bros. It's not Game of...
Is it just me? Or is that tree looking a lot bigger?
You're right. How can it be growing so quickly? We need to act fast.
You hear that?
A helicopter. Up from HQ?
I don't think that's one of ours. I'm guessing it's your friend from the university. Looks like she's got places to be. You know what's in that direction?
The military base.
What the hell is she up to?
The nuclear launch site. I don't like this, Evan. She still has those files requested by HQ. We need to get them back.
You don't need to do their dirty work.
It's not about trusting HQ. It's about what she can do with those files. She could take control of the satellite and the nuclear launch. We need to stop her. But at the rate this tree is growing, we might be too late to destroy it if we don't remove the remaining nodes first.
Are you gonna ask me to make a choice?
HQ can work remotely to block any login attempts to the warheads in the meantime. You stay focused on destroying those nodes.
I wasn't aware that nuclear warheads required a logon. I must admit I'm unfamiliar with the process. Why is the approach always flooded? Why can't it be nice? Oh, I just destroyed an antibody. I thought that was a vitality. Nuclear warhead log on screen. Forgot password? Click here to reset. Target value 8. How can that be done? How? No, not like that. It can't be done. There's no way. Big maths, I did it. My math game, very strong. Anyway, since it seemed like we have probably around, like, 3 to 4 hours more of this video game left if there are 12 chapters and I had just started chapter 9, I think we will call that the stream for today. I know it's a short one, but I started late. And we will finish this game tomorrow, most likely. I think that's what we will do. We'll try to finish the game tomorrow. Yes. What a long one. What a long one. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed the stream, drop me a follow here on the twitch.tv. We will finish this. We will try to finish this tomorrow. So if you want to see the exciting conclusion to Ground Zero, then stay tuned. Yeah, consider also joining Community Discord, following me on the Blue Sky for stream updates, and people yelling at me for being correct about video games on the internet. Yes, I am still annoyed. And consider subscribing to my YouTube, because I make those sorts of things sometimes. I'm going to send you guys over to Blood Thunder. They are doing speedruns of the Mouse PI game that I finished and streamed, like... I'm trying to avoid what I did with the Mouse PI stream, where I'm like, oh, I'll finish this game today, and then the stream turns into a 9-hour stream that goes into the small hours of the morning. I'm not making that mistake twice. I liked Mouse PI. I did really, but staying up to 4 a.m. is, like, bad for me. You know, like, it's just bad for you. Don't do that. So, faced with the knowledge that Ground Zero is, like, also roughly 15 hours long, it's like, I'm not making that same mistake twice, bro. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that twice. We'll pack it up and finish it another day, you know? There's nothing wrong with just finishing it over multiple days, right?